Hi guys, this is Rusty78609, Central Texas, USA. Me and Alexa are sitting here, and I got a light coming in here. I guess I can close that so it won't look like I've got a aura around me. So I'll close that blind first and see if that helps or makes it worse. Probably made it worse, but that's the way life is here in Central Texas. As you know, for you new guys, I full-time RV. I have full-time RV for 25 plus years. I live in an RV right now. It's a 26-foot Jayco J-Flat. I say that every time because 70% of the viewers are new. So, my question, now here's the little diamond that we can polish, and that is this. What is the future of going camping? Or what is the future of RVing? In other words, let's just say that we turn the clock forward 15 years, because I feel like if I'm really lucky, I might be able to get 15 more years of traveling around and going camping and doing stuff. Maybe that depends a whole lot on the old health word. So anyway, I started looking at national park attendance and some of this stuff. Some of those parks, you know, Grand Canyon, I think they got 5 million visitors last year. Zion National Park got a ton. Yellowstone, Yosemite's out of sight. You know, so, and what's happening is there's a spillover into some of these other sites that are smaller and weren't so popular or have not been so popular, and their popularity is starting to increase. And then the next thing that combines with that, hold on one second. Alexa, stop. Anyway, I just love that thing. But anyway, I've got a Google Home I'm fixing to test here in a little bit. I just got it from FedEx. But anyway, back to the future of RVing and or camping. You know, there's technological changes coming in that are allowing people to go live on the road now and make a living on the road. You know, YouTube, you know, there's a lot of people out there doing YouTube channels that are making enough to live on, and that's probably all some of them want, which is great. There's other venues. Some of them are doing little book publishing on Amazon. A jillion little things are being created by all this new tech. So, you know, we're always scared that, you know, jobs are going to completely go away, and what we end up doing is we create more new stuff, you know what I mean? But back to the camping and RVing. Well, you know, let's take one bite of it. Technological changes that will impact RVing or camping. Okay, I think in a few years we're going to have internet everywhere. For one thing, I think there's not going to be a place on this earth that you won't have excellent internet access. I mean, excellent. So what does that do? Well, that keeps you in communication. It's going to increase the number of people out there that are living on the road, you know, the techie types or whatever. And as to the RVs themselves, probably be some technological changes there too, and maybe the heating, cooling. Also, in my opinion, solar has come a long way in a very short period of time, really. And I think that probably in the next 5 years, you're going to be able to power everything in your RV easily with solar. And the solar panels are going to be flexible. The windows are going to be solar panels. You know, the roof of the RV will basically be a solar panel. And, you know, I think that's just within 5 years or maybe so. But be that as it may, you know, I'm looking at it like, how is it going to impact me? Because I'm 72 years old, and let's just assume I've got 15 years left of camping, possibly, if I keep my health, which 50-50 at best. But so what's happening is the parks are getting more crowded. So that means that, number one, either they're going to go up on their rates to balance out the equation, or they're going to limit the attendance. In other words, you'll drive up to Grand Canyon one day and it'll just say closed. You know, that's it. Or you'll go to a park and they'll just say a big sign there that says full. Some state parks do that already. If they don't have a space available, they just put a sign at the gate, sorry, full. And so that's the way that goes, and I think you're going to probably see that more frequently. And what does that mean? Well, what it means is there you're going to have to, as far as boondocking and dispersed camping in the national forest. I think that's probably going to get more and more crowded also, because the only thing that's keeping people from doing that is being able to run an air conditioner is one thing that keeps them out, particularly in the summer. And what else? And then of course, you got the plumbing issues, the showering and all that stuff. But that's just a matter of hauling water. And but I see it's. I mean, since I've been camping, I've seen it grow dramatically. I mean, I've seen, 15, 20 years ago, you could go to a state park in New Mexico or just about anywhere in the summer even, and there'd be a few people there, but you could always find a spot with a hookup of some kind, and I never got reservations. But now, from the looks of it, if I want to go state parking in New Mexico, Arizona, wherever, then I'm going to have reservations, and I've checked those reservation systems, for like next summer, and I have to tell you, a lot of those state parks are already full, and even the national parks. So it's amazing to me how quickly this change has come about. So either the government's going to have to open up more public land, which they're not going to do right now. They want to close more public land. That's been the trend, because they want to get the oil out from under that ground, and the ranchers want to run their cattle on that free range land and get free grazing. And so there's a big, you're running up against City Hall there. So assuming that there's no change in the number and of parks and space of parks, then you're going to be putting a larger and larger number of people in a smaller and smaller, or in those spaces, which kind of crowds out everyone. As far, again, back to the technology, I know I'm going back and forth, but this is certainly not a scripted video, like none of mine are. But you're going to be able to you'll be able to have internet everywhere. You'll be able to have access to 911 no matter where you are. Just whatever device you have will be able to do it. And I see that within 5 years, because I remember even 5 years ago when I went camping out in New Mexico, the coverage by Verizon or AT&T was not very good at all. It wasn't. But now it's pretty good. There's a number of parks that have cellular reception, and also a lot of the parks, a whole lot of them now, that didn't have Wi-Fi now have Wi-Fi. Now it may not be very good, and it may be only available in the toilet at the office, but I mean, what I'm saying there is sometimes they say they have Wi-Fi, but it doesn't even extend out to the parking lot. Like Guadalupe National Park, or Guadalupe Mountains National Park on the border of Texas and New Mexico. They say they have Wi-Fi, and unless they've changed it in the past few months, it just extends out to the parking lot, and that's it. So if you're at the campground, you don't get anything. You got to go down there, and then it's so slow, it can hardly be used. But I see that getting better. But again, then you have to ask, why would they want to make it better? That's just going to attract more visitors. So it's a catch-22. And if they are, in fact, according to the story I read today about the parks, the news story, if they are in fact becoming more and more crowded, then they're not going to be too inclined to add any more amenities or anything that would benefit the people coming there, because, hey guys, we'll just maintain and make a poo-poo load of money. And again, back to the RVing industry itself, I can already see what they're doing, and I think most people can. They're downsizing. They've come out with, I don't know how many models that are smaller now. That's a totally different trend. For years it was bigger, 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 more pop-outs, more pop-outs, more pop-outs. And maybe there will always be that niche that wants that particular type of unit, but I can see that it's getting narrow, because most of the people now are getting smaller RVs that they can pull with their SUVs and their 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder vehicles and still get pretty good gas mileage. As to the technology inside the RVs themselves, I think, of course, they're already going to LED lighting. They're going to more and more energy efficient appliances inside the RV. And so I think that trend is going to continue. And as that energy usage by the RV unit declines, then that's going to really open up using solar and being totally off grid wherever you go all the time. And I like that trend. Unfortunately, I don't like parks that are just really crowded. I mean, if they're just jammed in there. But again, that's the price you pay for not planning, I guess. But having said that, let's think about that. If anybody has any input or anything they'd like to add to this, because I haven't seen anybody really talk about the future of RVing for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And I just see some trends developing that's going to be it's going to be kind of a collision, actually, because there are those people that live out there in full-time RV, and I see them competing for a smaller and smaller space because there's more and more people out there in competition with them. Up until a few years ago, they kind of had it to themselves. They could, do the New Mexico State Parks Pass in the summer, in the winter and fall, and then go up north when the weather got too hot. But we'll see. Well, anyway, that's on that. So enough of that, enough new stuff. But anyway, speaking of new stuff, I just mentioned it earlier, I got me a Google Home Assistant. It just came in a box from FedEx, and I'm going to set it up if I can. Well, I'll get it. Believe me, guys, I'll get it set up. Trust me on that. But having said that, let's polish this future of RVing and camping diamond a little bit. Get a little discussion and see what your thoughts are on that. What do you think? Getting better? Getting worse? I think it's going to get better technologically. I just think the parks are going to get more. They're just going to be crowded. That's all. That's just my personal opinion. But having said that, guys, from Central Texas, USA, the future of RVing and camping, man, me, one guy. Anyway, thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, bye, USA made. Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. Water's good for you. That's all you need to remember. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, help you lose weight because you'll feel full and you won't want to eat. Number 2, take deep breaths. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Why? Well, because it relieves stress, and relieving stress lowers your blood pressure, and lowering your blood pressure will help you live a little bit longer. A lot of people have blood pressure problems and they take medication, which I don't think is all that healthy for them, but that's life. And what else? Walk, stretch, keep your health, because that's what it's all about, guys. You ain't going RVing anywhere. You ain't going to be worried about the future. But anyway, having said that, thumbs up, carpe diem, ID. That's a new thing I came up with. Yeah. Oh, baby. Wait till I got to say the A word here now in a minute. Anyway, bye-bye, guys.